I'm Mrs. O'Gorman, the way your children see me every day, but because I'm alone in the room, and for clarity's sake, I think I will demask and introduce myself. I'm Trisha O'Gorman, and I am your child's Regents Earth Science teacher this year. Hello. My goal in the following few minutes is to just tell you a little about myself, tell you about the curriculum, the expectations of the course, information about the Regents exam labs, and give you a little tour of the room and show you Schoology, how I run Schoology. So let's get to it, shall we? So I'll just run through a little information. I'm a mom of three. I have Grace, who's a freshman in college, Megan, who's a junior in high school, and Kevin, who's also an eighth grader. So I know how being a mom of a middle schooler can be a little busy, as I do go to lacrosse, football, field hockey, and softball games. So I know after school activities, dance, music, everything, religious ed keeps them busy, and sometimes it's crazy busy in our lives. So I understand. It's my 20th year teaching middle school, my 16th year at John Jay Middle School. So crazy that I'm saying 20th year, but yeah, I'm getting older. I have taught all middle school science subjects: life science, physical science, general earth science, and Regents Earth Science. And I am a total science nerd. I love what I do. I'm kind of a goofball in class, in case I haven't told you yet. That's what I am. And one of the things I love to do is traveling. So I drag my family all over the place on adventures. So we've been to Alaska and Hawaii, looking at glaciers and green and black sand beaches and lava flows. And I did drag them to South Carolina a few years back to look at the total eclipse of the sun. There's another one coming up in 2024. Please go and see it if you can, because it's totally bucket list worthy. So moving on. What's our mission statement? We believe that students can successfully practice scientific understanding when their critical thinking skills generate claims based upon accurate evidence and reasoning. So that which can be asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence. Christopher Hitchens said it best. You can't just walk around claiming anything you want. You have to have evidence to support that. And the evidence is collected accurately. And we call that evidence data. So we're going to teach them scientific practices. And what units will we be doing that in? Right now we're in introduction, getting our science skills and basic math skills back. Due to COVID, we are moving a little bit slower than normal, but we will start to speed it up soon once the kids have acclimated back into school. Then we'll move into mapping our planet, rocks and minerals. We'll study the weathering, erosional, and depositional processes listed here. Get into the dynamic Earth planet that we have, plate tectonics, earthquakes, geologic history, before we move into astronomy, where we will move from studying the universe on into the sun, earth, moon system and the phenomena that are created by the interactions of our three worlds. Then we move into the final month with meteorology, studying the atmosphere, moisture, forecasting, severe weather phenomena, and climate change, factors that affect climate and how they change it. The materials that they have right now, they have their textbook that they should have brought home at the beginning when we started the year. Last week, they got their big fat review book, the BFRB. They actually have their first homework in here tonight. This is the notes pack for the unit, and every unit will have its own notes pack. And I do like to use these because they're bound. Everything's in one place. They're not individual sheets to lose all over the place. And everything in there is double-sided, which does save paper in the long run. And then finally, they're new to this. These are the Earth Science reference tables that they have access to every day, every quiz, every test, and the Regents. 16 pages of information that they don't have to memorize. They have to be able to refer to, interpret, and use it as a reference guide. So they will have some things they have to memorize, but as Einstein said, never memorize something that you can look up. So in addition to these things, they will be using a new program, new to science, a program called IXL, and of course Schoology that I will show you in a moment. And they do have a lab requirement, so New York State law mandates that every Regent Science student completes at least 1,200 minutes of lab seat time in order to be eligible to sit for the Regents Earth Science exam. Now, some labs are one period, which would be 40 minutes, and some are two, which would be 80, 3, 120. So all of the lab experiences that they have will add up in the minutes, and we do more than 1,200. We usually get somewhere between like 1,600 and 1,800 minutes. But, whatever labs we do, students need to complete quality lab work, keep track of their labs, don't lose them or file them at home. They should always be in their folders, and they need to get their labs in on time. There will be deductions for labs handed in late, past the due date. And as of now, all earth science students will have to take the Regents exam in June. If NYSED changes their guidance due to COVID regarding the exam, we will respond appropriately and let you know what that will be. Students will not take an in-class final. The Regents counts as their final exam. And earth science students do not have to take the New York State intermediate level 8th grade science exam in the spring. That is for the physical science students. So they are exempt from that because they are accelerated students, the earth science students are. And in terms of the final course grade, trimester 1, 2, and 3 account for that. And then the Regents exam is a little over 11% of their final course grade. If you need to reach me, email is best, pogromman@kaleschools.org. But for general class info, you can please refer to the general class info folder in Schoology, which I will show you now. So when you go into your child's Schoology account, you can just pick the period that they're in. I'll just go into period 2 because they're all pretty much similar. Here's the general course information folder. So in that folder is a copy of the class information sheet that you signed and sent back with your child, which is this PDF right here. So for more specifics on grading and any information about the class, you can just refer to this. I did give students a copy of this to keep in their folder. It is green. Here's expectations, materials, assessments. Extra help is on Tuesday afternoons this year for the science department in 8th grade. Homework, how to handle absences, the lab requirement, and then the classroom general expectations. In this folder also is the general supply list, the link to the PDF of the earth science reference tables if they ever forget it. Here's the regular bell schedule, the 2-hour delay schedule, the 3-hour delay bell schedule, a video from the 7th grade science teachers. Some other resources that we have is tech resources. So they're new to their MacBooks. So here are some tutorial videos, keyboard shortcuts, etc. that we will be using throughout the year. In terms of the unit folders, I lay out each unit's folder in the same way. So the top folder, each unit folder will have a different color, but embedded in the folder are the same color folders every single time. So the green folder is the homework folder. I do put the most recent homework on the top. They are numbered, so if they're missing one, they can say, what am I missing? I say, oh, number 13, and they know what they're missing. In addition to that, we have tutorial and video resources. Each unit has a document that they can go to with links to tutorial videos for each topic, if I can find them. When I find something, I add it. It's a living document, kind of like the Constitution. We have lessons and classwork. So if there's ever in-class resources that they need, it'll be listed here. Labs, if it's an online lab, it'll be in this folder. The PowerPoint that we use, that they have copies of in their notes packs, is also here. So they can refer to it in color if they like to, and it will pop up in a second, I promise. There we go, there it is, okay? And then there's also the notes pack folder. Now this is a biggie because their notes pack I put on here as a PDF. So if they forget their notes pack and they're home and they're freaking out, oh my God, I can't do my homework. Yes, they can if it's in the notes pack, because they can simply download it, open it, and they can bring up the PDF. It'll happen, come on, any moment. There we go, okay. And then they can kind of scroll to the page they need. Let's say, oh my God, I need page 20. And then they can print, they can go to print. And what they don't want to do is they don't want to say all. No, I don't want all, I want custom. And then what they can do is they can go through and they can say, oh, there it is, 26, I need page 26. So they can go here and then just print 26. And then page 26 will come up. So they can still print it and do their homework even if they forget their notes pack. So I try to make it so that it's kid-friendly. And that's how it's Schoology is laid out. And their homework and their upcoming assessments will be listed in their upcoming, but the students can see all of their assignments for the day in their calendar. So in their calendar, any assignment for any class will be in their calendar. So this is kind of one-stop shopping for all of their subjects, whereas they have to go to their individual subjects to see their upcoming. So, but if they go back here to the Katona Lewisboro, they can see all of their upcoming for all of their stuff. So there's different ways of navigating Schoology, and I'm sure that they're good at that at this point because they used it in 7th grade. So now what I would like to do is I would like to take you around the room a little just to show you what we got. So I'm going to put this on there and then show you they come in over here. The kids come in through that door, and then we have our Bloom's Taxonomy there, and then this is their AIM board. When they come in, they look at that board to figure out what to do. And here are some standards, the state standards that we're going to be studying this year. And here's my physical science board, because I do teach both subjects. And here's the back counter. Here's all of our nice plants we have in the room. We got some hanging plants too. Okay, so up there you can see that I'm projecting what you're looking at. There's our monitor at the front of the room. So anything I project from the computer, this IPEVO camera, or anything, any videos, anything like that from the computer, it will be projected up there for the kids to see. Here are the lab tables. So each table has a number. And then when they have that number, they can come back here and they can go to their supply bins, and they can get the bins with the scissors, the tape, the glue sticks, the staplers, the electronic balances, colored pencils, rulers, etc. All right, here's our rocks that we're going to be using this year to study rocks. Here's our lab bins. So this is where when their labs are graded, they will have a lab log and a folder, and they will store them in there. And that is the evidence of the 1,200 minutes of labs. We got some safety goggles. We got our sinks. Here's our friend Galileo right there. Hello, Galileo. Okay. Here's the styrofoam that we measured in our density lab. We got some more sinks. Okay, this is our equipment cabinets over here. This is a pretty important place because this is where they would come to get a handout. If they were absent, they would come to their folder, to their periods folder, and get a handout that I gave out that day. All right, so if they're absent, they come here first. Extra copies I keep in these bins in case they lose something. Pens and pencils. Here's our projector again. Here's our sink and float that we're going to be doing. We're starting our density of liquids lab tomorrow. And here's all of our kiddos. This is where your child will be learning this year. So here's our learning lab. So I hope this video was informative. Sorry it was so long. But I look forward to hearing from you if you have any concerns. I hope everyone stays well, and I hope we get to stay in school. Fingers crossed. All right. Thank you for watching and for your attention, and I will wish you well. Bye.